You know, you can start your own 401k. You can do it with your Instacart profits. You just open up a trading account, put the money in there, and I'm going to show you with this $5,000 account. It's a small account, so I have to stay small. It forces you to stay small, but you should stay small anyway, even if you have more money. You want to edge your way in. You never want to give the market a chance to give you a body blow that makes you take a knee. So one of the few things that you can control is your size. Your share size is your risk factor. As a simulated 401k, I believe in getting into companies that I know have been through bear markets. They've been through pullbacks. It's not hard to do. Take $100 a week, throw it in there. It's $400 a month. It's $5 grand a year. You know, put it in some little things that you know are safe. Look, check it out. I took some of the money and I just went with a sector that I believe is going to rebound because it always does, and that's the banking sector. All I know is these are companies that have been around. They have a moat. They've been around. They've been through bear markets. So I went heavy in the banking sector with 4 positions that you'll see. But let's take a look at the other ones, because the other ones are the ones that are the high flyers. Let's take a look at them now. We'll start with Amazon. And please keep in mind, these are just self-fulfilling prophecies. That's all they are. I'm just going based on what people are doing, what I see people are doing. I'm not telling you what to invest in. This is not advice, you know that. I'm not telling you what to do. I'm just telling you what I'm doing with this little $5,000 account so I can do this video and show you that you can create your own 401k. You can create your own control over your own money rather than just putting it somewhere and hoping that you get interest or hoping that someone does good with your money. You're the only one that cares about your money the most. No one cares about it more than you. So it's easy to do. And look, these are companies that everybody knows. It's all self-fulfilling prophecy when you're investing. So I'm going to show you where mine was wrong and where it was right. Okay. It's just nobody's right all the time, but just know if you're safe and you never give the market a chance to body blow you, you're going to be okay. Even as you build your positions and it comes down. As far as brokerages, be safe with who you put sums of money in. You know, it could be 50,000 or 5,000. I've been using the same brokerage for 12 years. So almost the whole time that I've been doing this. And I started out with TD Ameritrade and I'm still with them, but I have most of my cash in Tasty Trade. And the reason why is because they built Thinkorswim. That TD Ameritrade runs their charting off of. I have to go with what's trusted. And plus at Tasty Trade, it's a whole options education. And the platform is super simple and super fast. It's all in one. You really don't need another broker. I just use the TD Ameritrade Thinkorswim platform for the charting. Tasty Trade is very trusted. The money's insured just like a bank. You don't have to worry about these things. They are in the United States. You know where their offices are located. I mean, they are options. They're going to give you 100x way more than any options brokerage. Could you please use the link below in the description? It won't cost you anything and it'll help my channel a little bit. I'll get a little teeny micro referral fee for it. You know, every little bit helps, but I would appreciate it. Could you use that link below if you're going to go to Tasty Trade? If you can go with any broker you want, there's a lot of good ones out there. I just don't know of them because I've only been with these 2 brokerages. Anyway, thank you so much for watching these videos, and let's do it. All right, so let's take a look at the market. This is the market on a weekly, these are weekly candles, keep in mind, okay? Look at where the market came down to. It came down to a whole number. Whole numbers are very psychological in the market. A lot of traders, just humans in general, and you know, we're whole numbers. It's all binary. Everything is made in our head. It's this head thing with whole numbers. So look where it came down to, 3,500, right? So when it got there, a bunch of buyers came in, formed a bottoming tail, and look at the market on a whole. Look at those price levels I put up. It goes in cycles. This is common with the market. It doesn't always work out equally. I just put that so you could see it. Now, if I was following the market cycles and I thought it was going to come down again. When it broke that white line, I knew right there, I felt like, you know what, I want to start nibbling in, just nibbling in. That was back in October, November, nibbling in. It didn't work. Came back down to the yellow line. I added a little bit more, okay? I was down a little teeny bit because I was nibbling in my positions. Now, I nibbled in, kept, and pretty soon I was green. I was going up to the blue line. I was still buying, right? Then it came back, hit that green line. And since my positions were a little bit bigger, it hit me a little harder. But still, having nice positions, being in them a while, you get a little dividend, whatever. It still knocked me down 565. That was the point where I knew I need to buy right there. Right there where that white arrow's flashing, I needed to buy. So, you know, it's hard to do, and I've had to do it before. It's hard to do, I know, but you have to add a little bit more. And so now the positions are back to around break even, as you can see. And my positions are almost full positions. I'm not going to add to them. I don't have any more money in the account. I have to leave a little cash in there in case the market drops and I need cash in there to cover myself. So now you can see that if you play off the longer term charts, you're going to pretty much have a better chance of being correct. And then if you keep your share sizes small, you can allow for wider distance to be wrong, okay? You know, that's what happens. A lot of people go into options because you can kind of be wrong and end up being right at the end, especially if you're selling premium. And if you want to learn how to do that, you just go to Tasty Trade. It's easy. It's an easy concept and it's pretty cool. But you have to know what you're doing in order to make the money at it. That's why I say they're the educational brokerage for that. Anyway, and it's free. It's all free. So please use that link. But you're playing off a time frame of a chart. And I want to play off the yearlies because I want to be in these for years. If I only wanted to be in it for a month, like a swing trade, I'd play off the monthly and I'd enter on the weekly and play the cycles. But if you can see, I even played them too quick off these monthly charts. And I was kind of going on weekly, so I had the weekly up and it was influencing me buying dips, and I was buying weekly dips. And so I backed it off to buying monthly dips, and now I'm back to break even, right? Had I just started on monthly cycles, and entered on monthlies, playing yearlies. You can even enter on yearlies, but see, you have to be careful how you enter. You have to have your buying sprees spread apart in time. And then you keep them small micro ads. Keep your hedge going in proportion to your longs. And I use SDS because, you know, it pays a dividend. A lot of reasons why I don't use options to do it. Options can't handle spikes in the market. And I don't like that because sometimes the market will spike and then you got to sit through something or wait something out. I don't want to do that. Or you can adjust something options wise, and then you get deep into that rabbit hole, and I don't like doing that. I just like playing SDS against my long portfolio. Anyway, let's get back to what we were talking about. So you have to look how many times it's punched up against that, and I think that's a Fibonacci retracement right there, like 50% or something of the bear market. It is really, really trying to get beyond that green line right there. And it's looking like it wants to pop because there's no catalyst for the market to go down. I don't care how much social media is out there telling you anything. Let's take a look at the positions right here. Let's start with Amazon, okay? Amazon came down. I saw it coming down and I wanted it under 100. I got some under 100. I added more over 100. So my average is about 103 on 12 shares. You know, so I put myself in a position that if it goes to 125, I might take 5 shares off and hold that 7. But look at Amazon. Amazon is so much more than just retail. You have to understand what this company is about. This is a huge, huge operation that owns, I mean, they're into robotics. They have Amazon Web Services. They are into pharmacies, online pharmacies. They own Ring. They own Twitch, a huge part in MGM. I mean, not to mention the everything they offer on Prime. I mean, they own IMDb. This is an incredibly huge thing. Look, they own Ring. So you have to understand, Amazon, I believe, my self-fulfilling prophecy on this company is that this is a reset. This stock went up to 3,000, okay, and came all the way back. It split, and it came all the way back, right? and I'm in at 103 and I want to kind of hold 10 shares. I'd like to hold 10 shares forever. I think it's going to be a $300 stock. I think it's going to 300, but that's just my self-fulfilling prophecy. I'll let you know what happens by updating this every couple weeks. Let's take a look. So let's take a look at the next one was Google. Google was doing the same thing, and it was just putting in erratic movement on a monthly chart. Remember, I enter off monthly charts. I'm playing a yearly, and a chart is only as good as the time frame you're looking at. If you're looking at 5 minutes, you only want to be in it for 5 minutes. Unless it's a winner, you'll be in it more. But look at the chart on Google. I'm playing the monthly, and it was putting in erratic down, and then it'd make up all that ground, then knock it down again. I had to get in there, and you get in small. You get in small, and I was right, so I added to it, and I was right again. So that's how that worked. Here's MU. MU's riding on the success of NVIDIA and all the tech. This one, I was in like 10 shares. I took 5 off on a spike and just left the 5 to run. I'm in that 5 shares. I'm in there from 59. I'm never letting go of MU, but I do want it to pull back so I can add to it. Here is the monthly chart on MU. Look at the channel. I formed that channel. Now, I had to put up with a couple, 3 times of it hitting the top and coming back down. Kind of freaked me out. I was adding in between there, and when it finally broke the channel on a spike, I took 5 off, left 5, so that's why I'm in there from 59.22 on MU with 5 shares. I'm up pretty nice. Occidental Petroleum, I'm not really worried about, because Occidental, I'm in there at 62. I'm down in the position. I have 20 shares. I'm down 4 points. I'm down about 80 some dollars, but I'm trying to see that there could be some, you know, petroleum, there's many uses for it, so you have to understand this is a huge operation. It's not affected by the electric car. Get that out of your head. Here's PayPal, and PayPal was my big mistake. Look at how far I'm down in it. I'm down 284. I should have been out of this thing a long time ago, but I averaged in with everybody else, and look at where I'm averaged in on the chart. This one I did play by the chart. Look at that base down there. I got in with a lot of other people, man. So, hey, it took that bet, and that was on good earnings. So I didn't realize that with PayPal, they rely on online sales, and it's the weather's nice, the pandemic's over, everybody's out buying. They're not at home doing it online, and so PayPal's suffering for it. But you know what? I believe in the company. I'm staying with it. Southwest Gas. Now, Southwest Gas, I'm edging into this thing. And this was another kind of just way too early. I saw that peak bottom down there, and I tried to get in just above it, and it didn't work. But I'm small. I'm small. See, I'm 21 shares. If I had just bought all those at once, I'd be down a little bit. I would have had to endure a lot of heavy punches to the stomach to get back there. Now, Tesla is another one. Tesla is one that you just have to take a chance. I mean, if I was in my 20s, I would definitely buy like 20 shares of Tesla and just hold it forever. I think this is going to go to 400. And look at it. Tell me a round number doesn't make a difference. It went right down to 100, and look at all the ground it made up from 100. You could have just taken a chance and say, you know what? I'm just going to buy 2 shares. If it goes down 50 points, so what? I'm out $100. Look at it. Look at it. Take a good look at it. Because look, it's coming back. It came back and dipped down, and then I got back in on the dip. All right, so the last position is the banks. I went heavy into the banks. The reason why is because they've been through lots of scandal. They've been through lots of bear markets. They've endured a lot, and their business is money. So when the smaller banks went down, because they're privately owned, it becomes down to a few CEOs. They can get mismanaged. They get mismanaged. If I had larger sums of money, 6 figures, I think I'd run back to the big banks. So I'm kind of hoping that is going to happen, and we won't find out until the next couple quarter earnings, probably around the end of the year. So I'm hoping as the spotlight comes off and the initial news shocks the industry, and for weeks and months, sometimes it'll go down. So as it was going down, I was nibbling in those banks. Bank of America, Ally Financial, Citibank, JP Morgan. I'm edging in there, just nibbling small positions. So as it went down, it wasn't really hurting me that much, but I'm down in the positions. But I'm averaged in kind of nice. And if you look at the charts Charts don't really make that much of a difference because sentiment of what people are really doing makes a difference. But as the limelight comes off, they kind of chug away and they get stronger and they get stronger. That's the history of what they usually do. So I'm kind of counting on it. It's my little self-fulfilling prophecy. Might happen, might not. So you can see them right here. Ally, you got Bank of America, you got Citibank, you've got JP Morgan. Okay, I'm up in JP Morgan, but I've been just nibbling, averaging down as they came down. Bank of America, I'm gonna buy a little bit more. I think it's a good bank. I think it's a big bank. They're gonna run back to it, but we won't know for a couple of quarters. Who knows? It might work. Here's one of the hardest things about the market. Now, this is gonna go over a lot of people's heads and it's really hard to do, but sometimes when something spikes or the market notices something like, hey, look at the financials, they're really cooking. And you look over there and you want to get in, but the prices are already baked in. This is the bake-in period. You have to go in small, feel it out. If you're wrong, it's not going to hurt you. You can decide whether you want to add to it, whether you want to average, depending on what kind of company it is, how strong they are, how long they've been around, all the things that we talk about. But you have to go small. I'm not telling you what to do or how to invest. But since the history shows that they've been through this before, and with the small banks going down, the big banks, what's left? They're the only things left. So money has to flow there, I would think, right? I'm going heavier in on the banks, and this is the bake-in period. So as the limelight comes off of them from the scandals of the banks, they're going to be baking it in. Just keep in mind, over the next 6 months, they might bake it in, especially Citibank. I think Citibank's a $65 stock. But just keep that in mind as far as the bake-in. Amazon and Google, they could be baking it in. They might end up at 250 and they're baking it in right now in the low 100s. Just keep that in mind. And I'm just taking this little $5,000 account to try to prove to myself and to you that it can be done. You can do your own 401k. Look at the longer term charts. Step out of your intraday chart. Step out of your daily chart. Step out of your monthly chart and step back to a yearly chart. Maximum 20-year, whatever, yearly chart. And look at what the pandemic did. Not much. Look at what 2022 did. Play the longer term charts. You have to do that or else it doesn't match up with the psychology of a 401k. That when it comes to simulating a 401k the way I want to do it, which is really caring about what I'm investing in and being safe about it with small share size and adding to winners and building a position and believing in companies that I think are monsters in their industry and hold most of the share size, most of the sales in that industry. I have to step away and play the longer term charts. You have to do that. I hope this helped somebody, a beginner investor, because that's all I am. I think that's all we all are, because you don't know when this thing's going to come back and rip you. Oh, one last thing, the SDS hedge. Let me show you that real quick. Let me show you that chart. Now, the first thing that I look at when I look at SDS is I look at the volume. When the volume started spiking, I had to get in, even though I bought a little at the top of that 40 range at 42. I bought some at 40 and some at 39, so I'm averaged in on that, and I'm fine with that. It's going to be a loser. It's not going to be a continuous loser because, and you actually it pays a dividend. But you have to learn how to gauge against your longs. So the way I kind of do it, it's hard. You kind of have to feel it out, and you do it as you go. As you add to your longs, just add some of it. The way mine works out, it's about 20% recovery to 25% recovery. If the market goes down, SDS will make up, about 25% of my losses on my positions. But sometimes, positions can be stronger or weaker than the market. And I've had days where the market went down and my SDS was up and my positions were up too as a whole because I had Amazon and Google boosting. So that's how the hedge works. It's meant to kind of be a loser, even though that hedge pays a dividend, pays a 27-cent dividend. If you want to know what happens to these positions, because I plan on holding them to the end, I will update this every couple weeks, and you can see how these positions change, what happens to them over the weeks, months, years. So if you want to know, hit the notification bell, hit the like button, hit the, subscribe to the channel. If you want to learn how to do Instacart, if you're here for Instacart, just go watch a couple videos and I'll show you what I do. There's no magic to it. You're going to have to do this for yourself. You're going to have to invest your own money for yourself. I've shown you how to do it. It's not hard. There's a lot of people talk about it. $100 a week. If you're doing Instacart and you're making $1,200, $1,300 a week, even $1,000 a week, take $50 a week. It's $200 a month. Forget about it. Take away the emotional attachment of it. So what? Okay, so you bought 2-3 shares. Even if it goes down 10 points, what do you got, 20 bucks? At least you're getting your foot in there, and then you can add to it. And you go, okay, I can add to it. Forget about that money, because if it comes back, it was house money anyway, right? Hey, some things in life you're going to have to take a chance. At least this way you can do it safely and responsibly by just keeping your size under control. I hope that helps.